And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents 24-Arella. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a plot twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, in a faraway land named Quadra Vegetabiliham, there was a young adult girl named 24-Arella. 24-Arella had 10 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Tasha, Winona, Elena, Nina, Tanya, Yadina, Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ruby. All 10 of them constantly made fun of 24-Arella and always made her do all the chores. 24, wench! Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all! Said Tasha to Ruby all together. One day, the king of Quadrivigitumlingham's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, hear ye! The king of Quadrivigitumlingham, his royal majesty, is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Quadrivigitumling. Can I come? Asks 24-Arella, but she's not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. He's going to marry me, said Tasha, the oldest stepsister, but her younger sisters disagree. They even tear 24-Arella's best party dress. Later, 24-Arella is so sad, distraught and upset about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Quadrivigitumling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and comforts 24-Arella. There, now, my dear 24-Arella, she said, I'll fix everything for you. Nobody will know it's you. She then waves her magic wand. Because of that, 24-Arella's chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, 24-Arella, go fetch me a pumpkin and your tiny friends, the mice. Luckily, 24-Arella has 24 pumpkins and 48 mice. 24-Arella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 24 pumpkins into a handsome coach, into the 48 mice into horses, and fixes 24-Arella's natural dress and makes it bigger and better. 24-Arella said, I've never seen such a quadrivigital-tastic gown. And get a load of my glass slippers. Fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough? And climbed into the coach. Well, 24-Arella's fairy godmother says, well, you can't. But have fun, 24-Arella, my dear. But I will warn you. Return home before midnight or the spell will be broken and everything will change back to the way it was before, and gave her a clock to tell her what time it is. And so, 24-Arella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, the king at Quadrivigitumlingham says, Good evening, everyone. Prince Quadrivigitumling was wondering who he should marry. Isn't that right, son? To which Prince Quadrivigitumling responds, Yes, father. Suddenly, 24-Arella arrived at the ball just in time. He's walking towards me, said Tasha, Winona, Elena, Nina, Tanya, Yadina, Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ruby all together. But Prince Quadrivigitumling is not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards 24-Arella. He then says, You must be 24-Arella. May I please have this dance? In which 24-Arella says, Yes, I will be delighted. And so, 24-Arella and Prince Quadrivigitumling dance happily together. But later, 24-Arella checks her clock and it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball and she was running so fast that she lost both her glass slippers. The next day, by the time the ball's over, Prince Quartervidgetelling was really worried that he might never see 24ella again. The King Quartervidgetelling says, There now, son. I think we'll be able to find 24ella. And so, the King of Quartervidgetelling and Prince Quartervidgetelling began their journey all around the neighborhood to find her, and brought the 2 glass slippers she lost with them. By the time they arrived at her home, they knocked on the door of the house where 24ella and her 10 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 24ella, Prince Quartervidgetelling then says, Ladies, my father, the King of Quartervidgetellingham, and I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slippers? Tasha is first, but her foot is too big. When no one is next, but her foot is too small. Nonsense! It fits, she said. The rest are the same, but none of the feet are the right size either. Suddenly, the King of Quartervidgetellingham and Prince Quartervidgetelling noticed 24ella singing. Your Majesty and Prince Quartervidgetelling, is that you guys? She heard excitedly. The glass slippers fit, and 24ella, the King of Quartervidgetelling, and the Prince Quartervidgetellingham lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrew's Doers. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and Andrew Does Everything, and buy our merchandise at AndrewDoesEverything.com. And if you want to see some sequels, tell your friends about it. And take care. Bye. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents 48erella. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a plot twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young woman named 48erella. 48erella had 10 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Fiona, Ophelia, Ramona, Tanya, Yadina, Eliza, Isabella, Georgia, Hannah, and Tasha. All 10 of them constantly made fun of 48erella and made her do all the chores. 48, wench! Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said the 10 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters all together. One day, the King of Atta Quadrigentellingham's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, hear ye! The King of Atta Quadrigentellingham, who is kind, wise, is caring and everything. His Majesty is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Atta Quadrigentelling. 40, Fiona, Ophelia, Ramona, Tanya, Yadina, Eliza, Isabella, Georgia, Hannah, and Tasha are overjoyed and picked out dresses to wear to the ball. But 48erella feels left out and went about her work sadly. He's going to marry me, said Fiona, the oldest stepsister. No way, Fiona, wrong. He's going to marry me, said Ophelia. Both of you are wrong. He's going to marry Prince Atta Quadrigentelling is going to marry me, said Ramona. The rest of the 10 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters disagree and say, all 3 of you are wrong. Prince Atta Quadrigentelling is going to marry me. Later, 48erella is so sad, distraught and upset about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Atta Quadrigentelling. Whatever will I do? She whimpers. 48erella's fairy godmother arrives and comforts her. There, now, 48erella. I'll fix everything for you. and you'll become a princess. No one will know it's you, she said. She then waves her magic wand. Because of that, 40-year-old Cinderella's chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, 48-year-old, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice. Luckily, 48-year-old has 48 pumpkins and 96 mice. 48-year-old is fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 48 pumpkins into a handsome coach, the 96 mice into horses, and then 48-year-old is recalled into a gown and crown, and even a pair of glass slippers appear on her feet. 48-year-old said, I've never seen such a quadruple-tastic gown, and get a load of my glass slippers. Fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough? And climbs into the coach. 48-year-old's fairy godmother said, well, you can't. But have fun, 48-year-old, but I will warn you to return home before midnight. That's when the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before. And so, 48-year-old accepted the warning. At the ball, the king of Otter Quadrigid Tumblingham asks, wondering who to marry, Prince Otter Quadrigid Tumbling? To which Prince Otter Quadrigid Tumbling himself responds, yes, father. 48-year-old arrives at the ball just in time. Prince Otter Quadrigid Tumbling sees her, walks straight towards her, and says, you must be 48-year-old. May I please have this dance? Yes, said 48-year-old, overjoyed. And so, she and Prince Otter Quadrigid Tumbling dance happily together. Fiona, Ophelia, Ramona, Tanya, Yadina, Eliza, Isabella, Georgia, Hannah, and Tasha watch them jealously as they wanted Prince Otter Quadrigid to follow with them. They shout all together. But soon, 48-year-old realizes it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball, and she ran so fast that she lost both her glass slippers. The next day, the king of Otter Quadrigid Tumblingham and Prince Otter Quadrigid Tumbling traveled all around the neighborhood trying to find 48-year-old who captured Prince Otter Quadrigid Tumbling's heart. And they brought the 2 glass slippers she lost with them. By the time they arrived, they knocked on the door of the house where 48-year-old and her 10 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 48-year-old, they find Fiona, Ophelia, Ramona, Tanya, Yadina, Eliza, Isabella, Georgia, Hannah, and Tasha. Prince Otter Quadrigid Tumbling then says, ladies, my father, the king of Otter Quadrigid Tumblingham, and I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on these glass slippers? And Fiona is first, but her feet are too big. Ophelia is next, but her feet are too small. Nonsense! They fit! She said. The rest are the same, but none of their feet fit either. Suddenly, the king of Otter Quadrigid Tumblingham and the Prince Otter Quadrigid Tumbling noticed 48-year-old singing. She looks rather familiar. She's not even a princess. Prince Otter Quadrigid Tumbling, and your majesty, is that you? She hollered excitedly. 48-year-old, my dear daughter-in-law, we found you! Exclaims the king of Otter Quadrigid Tumblingham. And the glass slippers fit! The king of Otter Quadrigid Tumblingham and Prince Otter Quadrigid Tumbling, and 48-year-old who transforms back into a princess, then lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrew's Doers. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything, and buy our merchandise at AndrewDoesEverything.com. And I've been completing all the Cinderella parodies that are associated from 40 to 49. Tell your friends about it! And the previous ones may be completed. And so, take care! Bye!